Living alone as an older man can be one of the most fulfilling and enriching experiences of your life. It's not just about the peace and quiet, it's about embracing your independence, rediscovering your passions, and truly enjoying the freedom that comes with this stage of life. In today's video, we're diving into the 9 benefits of living alone and how it can help you grow emotionally, mentally, and practically. If you're already living alone or thinking about it, stick around. This could be the most rewarding journey you embark on. And if you enjoy content like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us on this path to living life on your own terms. As an older man, living alone can be likened to entering a sacred retreat, a time of self-discovery and spiritual enrichment. It is not merely about the quietude that surrounds you, but about creating a space for mindful living, a place where your heart and mind can dwell in harmony. In this solitude, you carve out a realm that is wholly your own, a sanctuary where you can turn inward, nurturing your passions and embracing the growth that this stage of life offers. I too have walked this path of solitude, and the wisdom that has blossomed from my experience is something I now hold dear. This is not simply a list of worldly benefits. It is a deeper reflection on the emotional and practical liberation that comes with living alone, a topic that resonates with many on spiritual forums and in the quiet corners of online communities. One of the greatest blessings of living alone is the freedom it bestows. Like a monk who rises with the sun, unbound by external demands, so too do you find the freedom to shape each day as it unfolds. There is no need to compromise your time or energy to meet the rhythms of others. I recall the simple joy of my early days of living alone, the deep satisfaction of rising at dawn, making tea, and spending the morning in meditation or reading. There was no rush, no obligation, just the flow of life as it was, in its purest form. Consider the story of a man in his 60s who rediscovered his love for painting while living in solitude. Much like a monk crafting a mandala, his art became a meditation. He transformed his living room into a quiet studio, painting late into the night without the concern of disturbing others. His solitude nourished his creativity, allowing him to enter a state of flow that was previously unattainable in a shared space. This freedom to explore our inner landscape, to follow our hearts without distraction, is a sacred gift of solitude. Likewise, the peace and quiet that come with living alone offer a unique opportunity to cultivate mindfulness. After years of juggling responsibilities, the stillness becomes a refuge, a chance to sit with your thoughts and simply breathe. I remember the first time I truly felt the deep silence of living alone. It was a Sunday morning, the world still and calm. As I sat by the window, sipping tea, the only sounds were the soft rustling of leaves and the distant song of birds. In that moment, a profound sense of peace washed over me, a tranquility that can only be found in solitude. This peace, much like the quiet mind in meditation, allows us to reflect deeply, to cultivate inner harmony, and to find joy in the simple, fleeting moments of life. When no one is around to demand your attention, the silence becomes a gift. Imagine a serene morning where you sit with your coffee, perhaps on a balcony overlooking your garden, free from the chatter and rush of daily life. This quiet, sacred space transforms into a sanctuary for your mind, allowing your thoughts to settle like still water. In this stillness, you gain clarity, reconnect with yourself on a deeper level, and rediscover the simple pleasures of life, a moment akin to the meditative peace of early morning prayer. Living alone, especially as an older man, is a profound opportunity for personal growth and self-discovery. Like a monk in solitude, you are given the time and space to reflect deeply on your life, your choices, and the direction you wish to take. In my own life, there came a time when the constant noise of daily existence drowned out my inner voice. I had lost sight of what truly mattered to me. But once I embraced the quiet of living alone, something within me shifted. The calm evenings and solitary weekends became fertile ground for introspection. Much like the quiet meditation of a sage, I began journaling, a practice I hadn't revisited since my youth. And in those pages I reconnected with forgotten dreams and passions. There is also the story of a man in his late 50s, who after a long career and the end of his marriage, moved into a small cabin by the lake. The solitude he found there became his teacher. He started journaling, reading philosophy and practicing meditation. Like peeling away the layers of an onion, he stripped away societal expectations, reconnecting with his true self. This kind of personal growth, born from solitude, can be a transformative and liberating experience. When you live alone, you gain full control over your environment, a reflection of the internal space you are cultivating. Whether you choose to keep your space meticulously clean or allow it to be comfortably cluttered, the decision is entirely yours. This is your personal sanctuary, where every corner reflects your personality and passions. A dear friend of mine, after his divorce, moved into a small house in the countryside. He was an avid collector of vintage cameras, something his wife had never fully understood. Now, with his space truly his own, he transformed one room into a gallery for his collection. Walking into that room every morning filled him with a sense of joy and pride. It was a space that mirrored his soul, without compromise. Another older gentleman, after his children moved out, reshaped his home to reflect his own tastes. He filled the rooms with antiques, family heirlooms, and books, creating a space that told the story of his life. In this freedom to design his surroundings, he found deep satisfaction, for his home became a true reflection of who he was, a sacred space that celebrated his journey. Bookshelves stacked with his favorite reads, his home transformed into a gallery of his life's journey, each corner reflecting a cherished memory or a beloved story. This ability to curate his own environment brought him immense joy. In a similar way, living alone fosters a deeper sense of financial independence. While it may seem more expensive at first glance, many older men find that living alone actually enhances their financial freedom. Without the need to support others, they gain full control over their finances. This autonomy allows them to downsize, move to a more affordable location, or simply manage their budget in a way that prioritizes their personal needs and desires. I recall a conversation with an old colleague who, after retiring, decided to sell his large family home and move into a cozy apartment downtown. Initially, he worried about the expenses, but soon discovered that the reduced costs allowed him to live comfortably and pursue his passions. No longer burdened by the upkeep of a large home, he had extra savings, which enabled him to indulge in photography, a long-held dream he'd never had the time or resources for. One story from a forum that stood out to me was from a retiree who downsized to a smaller home. This decision not only reduced his living expenses, but also freed up money for travel and other experiences he had always dreamed of. He spent his 70th birthday on a solo trip to Europe, an adventure that wouldn't have been possible if he had still been maintaining a larger household. Moreover, living alone can have a profoundly positive impact on mental health. Solitude becomes a source of healing, offering the opportunity to step away from the stresses and expectations of social life and reconnect with oneself. Whether it's through meditation, exercise, or simply enjoying your own company, living alone allows you to focus on what truly brings joy and peace. During a particularly overwhelming period in my life, I came to fully appreciate the solitude that comes with living alone. I would take long walks in the evening to clear my mind and reconnect with nature. My quiet home became a sanctuary where I could process my thoughts and emotions without the weight of external pressures. A man in his late 60s shared on Reddit how living alone helped him manage his anxiety. Without the constant demands of others, he was able to create a daily routine that prioritized his mental health. He practiced yoga in his living room, took long walks in nature, and learned to find comfort in his own company. The peace he found in solitude was unlike anything he had experienced before. Interestingly, solitude can also strengthen relationships. When you're not constantly surrounded by people, the moments you do spend with loved ones become more intentional and meaningful. After I started living alone, I noticed that my relationships with friends and family improved. Instead of seeing them out of obligation, I genuinely looked forward to our time together. The conversations became deeper and more heartfelt, and I cherished those moments far more than before. One touching example comes from a man who shared that, after living alone for several years, his relationships with his children improved. Instead of the tension that sometimes arises from living under the same roof, their visits became more intentional and loving. He found that he looked forward to their time together, and they in turn appreciated the relaxed, welcoming atmosphere of his home. Living alone also fosters a profound sense of independence and confidence. You become the master of your own life, handling challenges and making decisions on your own terms. This autonomy can be incredibly empowering, especially as you age. I vividly remember the first time I had to fix something around the house by myself, a leaky faucet. It was something I had always relied on others to handle. But there I was, alone, with no one to call on. I took a deep breath, watched a few tutorials online, and got to work. The satisfaction I felt when I finally fixed it was indescribable. It wasn't just about the faucet, it was about proving to myself that I could handle whatever came my way. For another man in his 70s, the passing of his wife initially left him unsure about living alone. However, over time, he learned to manage the household, cook his own meals, and even handle small repairs. This newfound independence gave him a sense of pride and accomplishment that he hadn't felt in years. Living alone, especially as an older man, offers a unique opportunity to rediscover the simple joys of life. In the stillness of solitude, you can reconnect with the activities that bring you peace and contentment, free from the distractions and demands of others. Whether it's savoring a book, nurturing a garden, or enjoying the quiet pleasures of a cup of tea at sunrise, living alone opens up the space to fully immerse yourself in these moments. I've always been a morning person, but it wasn't until I began living alone that I truly appreciated the tranquil beauty of early mornings. I started a small garden in my backyard, something I had long dreamed of but never had the time for. Now, my mornings are spent tending to my plants, sipping tea, and basking in the first rays of sunlight. It's a simple routine, yet it brings me profound joy and a sense of fulfillment. I once watched a video where an older gentleman shared his daily routine, which revolved around his garden. Living alone allowed him the freedom to spend hours every day cultivating his plants, something he found deeply satisfying. He spoke of the pleasure of watching his garden flourish and the sense of accomplishment that came with creating a beautiful, peaceful space, a sanctuary that was entirely his own. Living alone isn't just about solitude, it's about embracing a lifestyle that promotes peace, personal freedom, and growth. It's an opportunity to rediscover who you are, pursue long-forgotten passions, and create a life that is uniquely yours. Whether it's enjoying the peace and quiet, relishing financial independence, or embarking on a journey of self-reflection and growth, living alone can be one of the most rewarding choices you'll ever make. If you're considering living alone, know that you're not alone in your thoughts. Many have walked this path and found it to be a deeply rewarding and transformative journey. Take the leap, and you may find that living alone is the key to unlocking the most meaningful and enriching chapter of your life. Feel free to share your thoughts. It's a journey worth discussing. Living alone as an older man isn't just about solitude. It's about embracing freedom, rediscovering joy in the simple things, and growing into your best self. Whether it's finding peace, strengthening relationships, or gaining confidence, living solo can truly transform your life. If this video resonated with you, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Share your experiences or questions in the comments below. And if you found this content helpful, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe for more, and share this video with others who might benefit. Thanks for watching.